What's going on, my today people? My name is Wendy, and I really appreciate you all joining me yet again for another. The Dear Future Robots podcast is an audio-visual time capsule addressed to the future, but from a human perspective. So stay tuned to see what we contribute. Dear Future Robots, let's go. On February 22nd, 2024, cell phone companies, or networks, I should say, AT&T and Verizon, showcased an ineptitude to keep their networks up, causing their customers to suffer hours without access to their phone service. Now, a lot of people getting up to their phones not working and not knowing any reason why, the first thing they thought about, because everybody has Netflix, is leave the world behind. You know what I mean? And all other types of movies about the end of the world or a major war coming to this country or whatsoever. In their press release, AT&T put out a statement, and I'm a paraphrase here, but stating that, hey, it was nothing more than just bad code. And that being all well and good if it was very believable. In a day and age where we have viruses and hackers uh, provisioned by other companies, other superpowers, it ain't just that easy to believe that it's bad code. Dear future robots, does one of the horsemen of the proverbial apocalypse ride in on a CPU? Guess it remains to be seen. Let's start the show. This is my philosophy. Now, for the past several months, honestly, the past several years, y'all already know our country has a major issue with this next topic I'm going to talk about here. We're going to talk about here. Gun control. Joel Osteen's church in Texas had a active shooter situation. A woman and her child. Unfortunately, the child was struck. The woman was, for lack of a better word, put down by the security forces there in that mega church. There was a situation where a local rapper was a target of a hit, and an innocent woman was struck and killed not too long ago. I can go on and on with different stories, some anecdotal, some major news stories throughout the years. But do I really have to? I did an episode last year sometime in regards to gun control and what that looks like, what it feels like. And honestly, while I was doing that episode and the research it took to come up with the different circumstances and events and tragedies, honestly, I got annoyed. It annoyed me. And honestly, I moved away from even talking about it. Gun control, or what are we going to do now? Because that's all you see. A lot of lip service coming from news anchors, from politicians. Oh, what do we do? Oh, prayers and all this. Y'all ain't doing what need to be done. All right. So again, if you guys go back in the whole file, of episodes that I've had, I can't remember the name off the top of my head right now, but I went ahead and detailed what I thought would work. So for you guys that haven't heard that haven't heard that episode from the past, y'all gonna, I'm gonna go ahead and rehash some of that for y'all today with the fellas, of course. But if you did hear it, you're gonna hear some stuff again. You'll hear a few repeats, but this is still my philosophy, and I can't wait to get some of these guys' opinions on this situation. This is actually a topic that yours truly, Valle G, wanted to bring up. So let's get right to it, y'all. Valle G, I guess you can go ahead and ask the question, but first, let me just say, Valle G, you can say what's up to the people.
What's up? What's up? What's up?
Chris, you can say
In
what's
the
up to the
building.
people.
Yo.
NoName, you can say what's up to the people.
Yep.
And we got cameraman Ryan in the background. He's actually working sound today. I'm thankful for that. But yeah, Valle G, man, you can go ahead and introduce the question and
Okay,
or
so
the prompt, I should say. Go ahead, man.
So common sense gun laws. What does that look like in the United States, like specifically? Like every time we turn around, I think the most recent shooting I think about is Kansas City Chiefs had their Super Bowl parade.
Yeah.
Where there was a shooting that happened out there where I think at least a dozen people were hit. Half of those people that were struck were minors, were children. So, like, what does it look like for a common sense gun law in the United States?
What y'all boys think, man?
Because I'd be one to argue, like, clearly we have a problem. Somewhere along the way,
for sure,
it's way
for
too many
sure.
shootings
Now,
happening
okay.
in the country
So
for us to be like, hey, we probably need to kind of dial some of this back.
Okay, so I'll go ahead and rehash thoughts and ideas I had almost a year ago now. Okay, so from my perspective, right? Common sense gun control, just like saying common sense ain't common. It ain't gonna be a common thing, and it ain't gonna be a quick thing. It ain't gonna be a quick fix.
Okay.
This is a culture in this country, right? Desperados, cowboys, gun violence is in this country's DNA. Guns are in this country's
Second
DNA.
Amendment covers it. Is that what it is? Second Amendment.
The right to bear arms.
Supposedly.
Yeah, so the freedom of speech won't be infringed upon, right? And the right for a militia, like you can form a militia, but that's from the 18th century,
right? So it's
this
like,
ain't the 18th century.
Nah, it's not. Like, is it really applicable to what goes on today?
Right now, if we Americans and people have this thing where we tend to, being a hypocrite is very easy. We all do it in some way, shape, or form, right? Now you got people screaming from the top of the mountains, "We need gun control. We need to do this," and then they go pay money to watch John Wick kill like 35 people in 20 minutes. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Right. See, you see how you just look? Like,
movie.
It is a dope movie. It is a dope movie, but that helps to kind of breed these issues because somebody's gonna want to be John Wick.
Yeah.
Somebody's gonna have it on them, waiting for somebody to do something.
Yeah.
And once, let me say this. Gang violence in the 1970s, it was fisticuffs, it was bats. I'm gonna bring this chain. Y'all seen the scene from Anchorman when they all met in the alley and everybody had chains and this guy had a bat and one barbed wires wrapped around the bat. Guys was fighting fisticuffs, hands and feet and weapons.
Right.
That one dude who was that leather jacket wearing thug back in the 70s that pulled out that little 38 changed the game for everybody, right? And that's for like people like us, young, call us young, quote unquote, black men or whatever. People with money been had them Tommy guns. Guns ain't something new. And if we just giving lip service to it, it ain't going nowhere. We're going to have to start with entertainment. That's movies. That's music. We're going to have to start with how we talk about these things. But are people really willing to do that? No. Who's really willing to do that for real?
No, and I don't think you can't stifle creativity, right? So going to the movies, I know that's a way of saying like, man, we should do that, but I don't think we can.
We do it all the time, though, right?
We do it all the time, but like if you say, all right, let's try to scrub or whitewash, right? Like the movies, right? That's like saying, let's not listen to rap anymore. Right, like it's inbred in us, right? Like it's like we it's like who was riding around in 05 when the Young dropped, when Thug Motivation 101 dropped, like you never sold a brick in your life,
a whole bunch of weapons in my
right?
I had a whole bunch of weapons,
but
in
you
my
felt
car.
it, but you felt that,
Yeah,
right? Like,
Thug,
and I think that's that draws to a comparison to the movie, right? I'm not gonna say like I watched the movie and I enjoyed it and I'm like, hey, but I'm not gonna take up that gun. Right. So when I think of common sense gun laws, it's really hard to think about because I myself could be a level-headed person that is college educated, has a really good job, and went out and buy a gun, and something happened in my life where I chose to then do this. Right. I checked all the boxes. I don't have any priors.
Right.
I'm college educated. I'm whether I'm white, black, or whatever I am. And I walk in there, and that one day I just felt that way, right? And I went and I decided to make a dumb decision. The same thing when people drink, right? They drink, they're having a good time, and then they jump behind the wheel, and then they make a bad decision. So I think it's easier said than done, is what I'm basically saying. Common sense gun laws are very easier said than done because we can do it like alcohol. You can't drink till you're 21, but eventually we're gonna get to 21.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So that's mine.
I agree with you, man. And I think I don't think censoring certain movies or music is going to change the problem. You know what I mean? Because I feel like it's a choice thing. It's not because I mean, who owns guns, man? Like adults,
Everyone.
Me.
you know, adults, right? So
Mhm.
you're telling me that adults need to watch certain movies so they're not influenced to do certain things. I mean, adults should be able to make a sound decision.
Yeah.
I think you over. I talked about this in the previous episode too. I think you overestimate people's true autonomy as far as decision making. I think you underestimate programming. I think you're missing. I think you're missing that. Now, what I said was that culture in this country is created. The people aren't coming up with these ideas,
Yes, yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It's being given to us through things like TV. Manipulation is real, dog.
Yeah.
Like people ain't out here truly making their own decisions.
Yeah.
We're marketed to on a daily basis. There's Edward Bernays, look him up. We're marketed to on a daily basis. Everything that we have, you got on stuff right now. I got on stuff right now. I was marketed to buy this. I didn't just wake up in the morning. I think I need. No, we're all brainwashed, dog. And that's a sad. Nobody wants to think that. Oh, I'm manipulated. Everybody want to feel like, oh, I make my own decisions. That's not true.
But think about it like this. You're right in terms of we're all being marketed to and we're all being somewhat
manipulated and brainwashed. That's a fact.
But we're not going around killing people, though.
We
know what I mean?
We aren't.
But that's what I'm saying. So my thing is that even though we all are being exposed to the manipulation, people out there making these dumb choices to do these dumb things. So I feel like it's kind of hard to come up with common sense gun laws because I feel like even if you come up, it's not common. That's the next thing, right? And
it takes the person, like you're saying. It goes back to the person because, like you said, we're brainwashed. We all wear it. We all wear the same stuff. Like
how we talk, what we
say, what we listen to, what we buy. You know what I mean? And we all fall into that narrative. But at the end of the day, I'm not gonna go and do something because
we aren't. It happens every freaking minute in this country, though. We aren't.
Yeah, but going back,
the world is crazier.
But what you're saying is going back to it. It's the person.
Sure.
Right.
Okay. So what I said in the previous episode was that this is gonna have to be a generational type project, and you cannot tell people just how they brainwash us to go buy this and buy that and do this and eat this and drink this. It's gonna have to be a generational project that is secret.
Mm-hmm.
You can't let Americans know, because if you tell us you're gonna do something to us, or we're gonna do the opposite.
Of course,
you can't tell me what to do. F the government. You can't. It has to be some secret type, just how they used to brainwash us, but secretly, because magic tricks don't work if you know how they work. So it's gonna have to be something like that takes like a generation or two, because you're gonna have to essentially breed this thirst for guns out of the population. And look at how places like Norway does it, where like ammo, you can't have ammo. You can have a gun, but the only place you can shoot it is at the range.
It's legal for the citizens of Norway to own guns as well.
Yeah, they can own guns, but to get the ammo, you can come to the range and shoot. You can practice shooting. They have tons of guns.
The question that I have for that is this: did they start out the use of gun usage in Norway? Was it always, has it always been that case where if you wanted to shoot, you got to buy the ammo at the range and use it, or could you buy the ammo and the gun at the same time? And they're like, you know what, let's pull it back a little bit. Yeah. If you want to shoot, come to the range and do it.
See, other places, when they have accidents, they take action. Like Australia, their last mass shooting in Australia caused them to change their laws, and they ain't had one since. So there are things you can do, but America, there's a big lobby. It's called the NRA.
Yeah.
They don't want less guns, and they pay our politicians. It happens, bro. They pay our politicians, and we the citizens, we brainwash. And I venture to say 75-80% of the population of America has never read the Constitution.
Yeah. Unless
we all just say Second Amendment. Nobody read it.
Unless you took like civics or something in high school, maybe.
Yeah, but that's still for a test.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean?
So I'll say this. I disagree. I think it's very easy to solve this problem.
Ooh.
I think harsh legislation kind of solves it, especially if you look at other countries. Like, other countries don't have this issue. And especially if we point to like the culture. Like John Wick is a worldwide movie that's released everywhere. So we can't even point and say like, oh, it influences crazy people.
You're right.
But crazy people shouldn't have access to the guns in our country. But they do. Make no mistake. A gun doesn't become a weapon until it's used by a human. You know what I mean? It's still just a tool. The same thing with a knife, same thing with a bat, same thing with a chain. Those things aren't weapons till they're used by human beings. So for me, I would say harsher legislation, especially from like the federal government. Hey, make it mandatory for every state. You got to have universal background checks. You got to pass a psychological evaluation that says you're mentally competent and capable of using a weapon. You got to go through some type of gun training, some type of annual training, whether that's 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, or whatever. You know, there's a couple different ways you can attack it. You can pull AR-15s back off the street. We saw what happened with the AR, dog. Yeah, I mean, but there's you can make an argument and say, hey, there's no reason for you to have military grade weapons. And if you want it, the federal government has a way for you to get a federal gun license. That just means the federal government can run up in your house if we ever think that you're a terrorist or you're gonna commit some type of act of violence in the government. We get to come check you and make sure you don't do nothing crazy. But you can have whatever you want. You can have a rocket launcher. You can have the automatic machine gun with artillery and switches and whatever else on there because you have a federal gun license. Like it's a way to go around this issue, but nobody, like you said, NRA are lobbyists and they pay our politicians to make sure that the message is sent that, oh, we don't want our guns taken away. We don't want our guns taken away.
Freedom.
At the end of the day, nobody's necessarily trying to take your guns. We're just trying to tell you it needs to be more control with the weapons because obviously the people that are committing these things, like we've seen an increase with this stuff happening, and you could tie it to the artillery and weapons that are being used in the country. As we kind of take the shackles off and allow you to have more stuff, guess what? The crimes and the violence seem to continue to get worse. You know what I mean? If you look at like the last couple of mass shootings, none of that stuff is like random. You know what I'm saying? A lot of it is very calculated. It's people that are crazy that type out manifestos and all kind of shit that's going on with them. And they end up taking off on the public or taking off on our schools. And now we got to have these trainings or these reactions by our law enforcement that really ain't equipped to deal with this stuff either.
So I want to say something to that, right? Not all of the mass shootings that have taken place are calculated. I remember this one case where there was this kid in high school. He had a bad day, bro. He just had a bad day. And he came to school and he was like, since I'm having a bad day, I'm going to kill all of y'all. And his gym teacher was the one who had to talk him and say, hey, calm down. You know, you don't have to do this because you're having a bad day. And he started crying and shit. And they took the gun from him. You know, so not all cases are exactly the same. And I feel like even if you implement all of these different standards and stuff, right?
You said it wasn't calculated, but you just said he had a gun on him. Sound pretty calculated.
I mean, you get my point is that look, he's having a bad day, so he's like, you know what, shit, because I'm having a bad day.
He had the gun.
I think what he's more saying is it's not premeditated.
It's not premeditated. You know what I'm
brought the gun to school,
but that's not premeditated.
That sounds premeditated.
No, it's not premeditated.
In high school.
No, but what I'm saying, that's not premeditated. That's not premeditated.
Last
no.
time
No,
allowed.
in the court of law, that's not premeditated.
To a degree, I could argue it is. If you took the gun from your house, got on the bus, came all the way to school, waited till 11 o'clock when you had gym, and decided to fire off at everybody because you were still having a bad day, I could make an argument and say you had enough time to think about it, contemplate the consequences, and stop. Commit the act.
Probably not even the consequence. My thing is this, right? That even if you implement all these strict guidelines and all these regulations, it falls down to the human thing, which is called choice. You can't control the choice that people make. It doesn't matter what you implement. I think America has to pay the price for the freedom that it allows its citizens to have.
You're not wrong on that.
And this is a part of it. You know, like if you allow guns, then you have to have the gravitas to stand up and say, okay, well, there might be a couple of mass shootings, you know, here and there. You know, it's a part of if you allow people to drink, guess what? Somebody's gonna get drunk.
We're not the only country that allows these things, though.
No, but we're not the only country that allows it, but we're the only country that liberates our citizens to own guns in the way that we do. You know, no other country like it's you have the right to bear arms. You know, all this kind of wild stuff.
It's not glorified.
It's not glorified.
So other like you guys brought up great examples of New Zealand. I think it's the culture of the United States.
That's what I was saying.
Right.
Literally
like it's the culture of the United States of this is what we're going to do. Couple episodes back, I was just like, yeah, we're the shit. We'll never go down because it's the culture that we have within us, good, wrong, or indifferent. Right. So if you go to certain islands and everything like that. They're killings, but they're killing for a reason. There's no mass shooting. They don't get up one day and say we're gonna kill, because that's not ingrained in their culture. That's not ingrained in their culture.
Which is why I said we gotta change the culture, and changing culture takes time.
Yeah, definitely. It definitely is going to take some time. Like it's not going to happen overnight.
See, what's going to happen with your choice with your statement, Valle, when you're saying strict and right away, that's going to start a civil war. Yeah, that's going to start a civil
Potentially
war.
it could, but you know what? Make an example out of the group or the idiots that want to try it, and I guarantee you squash it. So I'll give you an example, right?
Damn. Okay.
Court storming is really big in college basketball right now. It's a big thing. Oh, players are getting hurt. Players are getting injured. You will never see court storming at historically black colleges. Okay. Why is that? You will not see 2,000 to 3,000 people that look like us storming a basketball court.
I was just about to say the Capitol. Okay.
Or just period.
You're right. Same thing.
All right.
Storming anywhere.
All right. So what happens when the Nation of Islam and Farrakhan and them try and do a march in D.C.?
Way more security, that's for sure. Way more security.
Way more security. Yeah. Way more of an opposition, right? Mm-hmm. Why is it that you think you will never see a demographic that look like us versus a different one going out there and storming the court? Oh. You can prevent that problem if you want to. Okay, you can lock everybody up that went out there and make an example out of them, and it won't happen again.
But you talk
imagine
about, if it's a civil war, it's a civil war.
I'll take it a step further. Imagine if you blanketed that whole gun control issue with a blackface.
They tried it. That's what they do.
You think so?
That's what they do. Most mass shootings, sure, it don't look like us. But gun violence, they put our face on that.
Yeah. See, I feel like our face only comes on that when you involve another criminal element to it. So like guns and drugs. Or like guns and robbery. Well,
I think
it's never just it's us with the gun being empowered. That's never the image I see.
You know, it's funny too. It's like what changed that perspective. I think that shifted, and it shifted with Columbine.
Absolutely.
Right. Trench coat mafia.
Right. Like it shifted with that because it was like prior to that it was the war on drugs. Hey, the ghetto, they're killing each other. The crack epidemic. Blah 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 blah. And then as soon as Columbine happened, like all of that our face on the guns kind of like just
washed
slid.
Away.
Yeah. And then every time
or just slid under.
And then it was funny because in the beginning, if you guys noticed, when the mass shootings would happen, the way they would report on it was like, well, we're not sure who the assailants are. Yeah. But now it's getting so prevalent where it's not us, and they're like, God damn it.
We already know.
They're like, man, it ain't them again. I bet you
little Timmy.
It comes across their desk, they're like, that's him again. Right?
Thought it was Jamal.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, for real. And I think, that's the only kind of silver lining to this dark cloud.
I know, right?
You know what I'm saying?
No, but, to Valle's point, I feel like if we do make an example out of the situation, which is true, I feel like we can curb it a lot more. I feel like when Columbine happened, right? Mm-hmm. If they harpen down on those two boys right away, did it die? They killed them, right? Is that what it is? In Columbine, I forgot how it ended.
I thought one of them was locked up.
One locked up, one died. One died there.
One died there, and one got locked up. All right, so let's say the one that died and the one that lived, right? Instead of locking him up, lethal injection. Harsh.
Oh, you sound
just
like
harsh,
me now.
Just harsh.
Death right away.
So guess what? So the next kids, the other kids who think about this, they know that, hey man, look, if I do this shit, boy, they're gonna get me. Boy.
They killed the last guy.
They're gonna get me, boy. You know what I'm saying? Like that, and that's what it is. Because children are sponges, bro. They're great imitators. So if they see, if little John last year shut up the school, and he has a mental problem, then shit, I'm gonna shut up the school next year, and I have a mental problem too.
I don't like the mental problem excuse at all.
Yeah, man, and choices, that's the thing. It's choices.
Tons
and mental problem is real, but
I think it's starting to shift a little bit.
In what way?
Based off of the Chicago mass shooting, where they just found the mom guilty for
because she so
liability.
They said she still supplied the child
with the weapon,
access to a firearm.
Yep.
She ignored the mental signs where he was distressed or whatever. She ignored all his warning signs.
And I think they said like the school called. It was like, "Yo, we're worried about it." I mean, she was just like, "No, blah blah blah."
Dismissive.
She did very so. Yeah, she just got
lock her up.
Was it manslaughter, right? Yeah,
manslaughter. I believe so.
Yeah, so I think it's shifting, but to your point, Valle, for it to happen, I agree with Wendy. It needs to be
generational.
It's generational,
Okay.
but it's not. It's on a sneak tip.
Gotcha.
Right. We're not telling you we're doing it.
You can't tell
right.
us.
Like you're not telling them because then
Bro,
you're gonna get the resistance.
Bro,
it's
I
like
still want a silencer. I want a silencer.
Right. Like
y'all know me. I'm not a bad guy. I want a silencer.
Well,
I'm still a gun.
I
want a silencer.
Everybody said, like, oh, you're gonna get the resistance. Like, okay, we've already seen that play out. Like, I think you need to, like, fucking abolish that as soon as you recognize it. Like, demolish that. Take it away the same way you take it away every civil rights leader.
Listen.
In United States history that came before. Listen, hey man, wipe it off the board. All right, we don't got to worry about that no more. it can
Listen,
see you
get a lot more bees with honey than vinegar.
That's a fact.
Right, right.
I know y'all seen the NRA president get sued essentially for, I guess we can call that embezzlement, right? Like a whole Wayne LaPierre is his name, by the way. Y'all look it up. The president of the NRA is out of here. He might be going to jail. They're saying he has to repay, I think, about $6 million or something crazy like that. So look, all these people paying to the NRA, this guy was funneling the money out from right up under y'all noses. It is what it is. But like I said, and we're gonna be getting out of here soon, unless y'all have something else or something different. Because I want to go right into scrap metal media. Because you mentioned Valle, stricter laws. All right. So unless you guys have anything to add as far as the common sense, because I think what we all came up with in this brief conversation is as common sense as you're gonna get.
Mm-hmm.
Like seriously, because if we keep talking about it, we're just gonna keep circling and trying to chase our own tails, dog. Because if politicians aren't willing to do what they need to do because they're getting paid, if people aren't willing to do what they need to do because they're getting brainwashed, then we just barking up a tree at this point.
Yeah,
you get what I'm saying? I guess we all settled on the fact that it's gonna take time. Valle,
it don't have to, but yeah.
Okay, all right.
It don't have to.
That's fair enough.
I think it's by design, but it doesn't have to.
That's fair enough. All right, so that's all we're gonna do on this topic today. That was my philosophy. We're gonna come back and go right into scrap metal media. All right, yow.
And
just them, right?
Just them. And what I don't get too is like they're like they came out the gate with a nice. Like I downloaded the app. The app's nice. It looks just like FanDuel. Like it's simple. Like it ain't like no. You would think like you're like, oh, you know, there's some. Nah, this app looked like they put money in it. Like this app looks like FanDuel. You know
What's crazy is I always heard advertisements for Prize Picks. Like every time I turn on like
no, it was fine. Yeah, so like it was good. I thought the only reason I didn't jump on Prize Picks earlier was because they were saying like Florida's nothing. It's like Seminoles are nothing. So when I saw the commercial with Chico Bean and Funny Marco,
yeah.
And
when in the tub, or
when
like
they're in the
nacho
tub, yeah, nacho tub, yeah,
something crazy.
Yeah, so I saw that, and then I saw Florida highlighted, and I was like, nah. And then I downloaded it and was like, yep, good in your state. And I'm like, word. And I only been using it. I downloaded it the All-Star weekend. That was the first time I used it. And I used
after
it
the Super Bowl.
Yeah, and then it was like done, and I was like, all right, bet. But that's crazy. Like I write, yeah, that's the joint right there. That's their joint. Like they're
about to get the Hard Rock app.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's a Hard Rock bet. Hard Rock bet. Like I'm like, damn, yo, like they're getting everybody out of here. They're like, nah, we ain't doing that.
Hard Rock, the payouts are not as much, but
yeah, because they're not national.
You can win more easily on Hard Rock.
Oh.
If you play the spread instead of the parlays and stuff like that.
Did he get in?
No, he said he went to the wrong building.
I'm gonna go ahead and just start this. I gotta do the question.
He said, "Can you buzz him in again?"
Oh my gosh, that's funny as hell. That's hilarious.
No, he's at the steps.
The steps don't got a button. It's like a card or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gotta be. That's what I think.
Yeah, it's like I saw it. I tried to open it, and there wasn't a button at the stairs.
I hit that bar, and
I saw like
I'm like,
yeah, it's like for a card or something, like a pass.
That's RFID. It's probably use your phone. It's RFID.
It's easier for me to get up.
Yeah.
It's open.
Yeah.
It's open. It's open.
Heard you went to the wrong building.
You took the elevator up?
No.
You to the stairs?
It did. Hey, Chris, in his defense, it did the same shit to me. I had to press the light 2 or 3 times.
That's funny.
And then it finally like did its thing.
Remember the last time when me and you came?
Yeah.
And I parked and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going off memory. You know what I'm saying? So I went to the wrong. Yeah. I'm like, you're like, press the silver button. I'm like, bruh, I'm pressing the button, bro. Yeah, and I'm like, oh shit, I'm at the wrong building. So I went over, and then when I text you, just buzz the stairs up. Yeah. And by the time I said the text off, this little kid pops the door open. So I'm like, oh shit, hold that for me. He's like, Mama! I'm like, bruh. It's funny, man.
Oh man.
But I made it, man.
Hey, what's that movie called again on Netflix? Leave the World Behind. Thank you.
Leave the
Never
World
mind.
Behind. Yeah.
All right, y'all boys. I know y'all catching up, but I got to do the question. Scrap Metal Media.
Bro.
He pulled the Meek Mill. He called the he gave them the address and called the police.
Yeah.
Y'all heard about that? Meek Mill versus Academics. You ain't see that? Meek Mill, Academics says Meek Mill called the police. Police went to Academics' house. He's trying to snitch on Academics, saying he got some people murdered because Academics commented on the Diddy and Meek Mill thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
But they didn't even actually name Meek. They just said a famous Philadelphia rapper
that dated Nicki Minaj. That dated Nicki. It ain't Cassidy. It ain't Cassidy. It ain't Cassidy. Welcome to Scrap Metal Media, where all news is two-faced. Take it or leave it. All right. Okay. So coming right off that topic of gun control from MyPhilosophy, you guys heard Valle give his opinion and take on saying, gun violence people, what did you say, need to be killed right away or lethal injection? Oh, was that you? Oh no, that was okay. So pretty much pretty much saying that there needs to be some harsh penalties, and that would be sort of his like take on a now solution, so to speak, right? Well, speaking of like harsher penalties, newer laws, et cetera, we have right now, I would say red states really, that are creating harsher punishments for theft, right? And we're in a state right now, Florida, with our great governor, Ron DeSantis, that is putting new standards on grand theft, right? Theft from like stores, which you're seeing a lot in like more of the blue states, I would say, more of the liberal states like New York or California, where they're instructing everybody to just, hey, let them do what they want to do. Let them run out of the store and boom, 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 boom. Lately, we've been seeing like theft rings being caught. We saw Donald Trump, I think it was last year, say that he believes shoplifters should be shot in the back as they're leaving the store. So we're seeing a shift as far as that goes. But what do you guys feel about a lot of these states like Texas and Florida and the like that are switching it up, trying to be a bit tougher on these sorts of crimes? Grand theft, which if you guys don't know, it's $700 worth and above, right? So my heart kind of aches for the woman that needs to feed her family and she's still in a pack of, I don't know, noodles or something like that. Let them go. If you out there stealing 700 worth, I don't got no sympathy for you, dog. You know what I'm saying? So how do you guys feel about that, first of all? And whoever go ahead. Yeah. Start when you need.
I heard this thing where Target, the way they catch you on this law now is they have they use some artificial intelligence in their camera system that has the facial recognition technology. So they'll let you build and steal until you hit that $700 amount. And when you come back in the store, the next time you break the barrier, they arrest you on site.
Gotcha. Interesting.
Gotcha. They just allow you to steal whatever you want until you hit that number.
Oh, wow.
And once you hit that number, they take you off the board.
Wow. That is smart. I didn't know they did that.
I didn't know it either.
They're doing it. They're doing it up north because Joe just talked about it. That when he got his bag stolen,
Joe Rogan.
No, joke.
Go ahead.
Yeah. They hit him and was like, "Yo, we caught dude," and they're like, "He's like, how?" And then they're like, "Oh, he came back and started stealing again." So they were like, "No, we knew it was him, but we just needed him to come back." And he hit that threshold. Like we couldn't confirm what he had, but yeah. So they were like, "Yeah, but yeah, that's what they're doing. They're just waiting till you hit that number." And then then they just get you. They're like, all right, cool. You grab the TV. All right, we'll let you slide.
Wow. So he should have stopped while he was ahead.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah.
And it's very smart, in fact, because think about it. If I'm stealing, man, if I'm stealing and I get away with it, then shit, I'm gonna steal again. You know what I'm
Bingo.
saying?
Psychology. Psychology.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I got away with this once.
Okay, bet. So yeah, man, it's in Jamaica we say long run, short catch. That's pretty much what it is.
That's funny.
So, yeah, man, it's
long run, short catch. I like, yeah, Jamaicans way out, way, man. That's dope.
Well, I think so. To go back to your question, the harsher, man, I'm a little bit indifferent, right?
Okay.
Because let's be honest, as Black people, we grew up not, you know what I mean? We grew up like that, right? So
a lot of us,
we had to. I got on some of that. That
Yeah.
came from.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I
Like you know what I'm
you gotta
saying?
hit me up on that too,
right? Like you know what I'm saying? So yeah, right. So it's kind of like, damn. But I think from when you are collectively making this an organized crime, then I think that's when it is. But if it's an offshoot of a homeboy over there is just getting it, and then it's like, all right, it goes back to that premeditation, right? Like if you're doing that's a RICO. Like this is organized crime.
Clearly.
Like this is not no. So we're gonna throw the book at you. But if you this one man over here, you're gonna get the regular penalty, send you on your way, and then blah blah blah. But the harsher stuff, I think you leave it for the organized crime where you're like, you guys are making a job out of this, like robbing banks and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
I don't disagree at all, bro. And any takes or thoughts on Trump saying that shoplifters should be shot in the back?
That's wild.
That's wild. It's wild, but not surprising.
He would have got shot a long time ago.
It's
the
wild,
amount of shit he stole.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Right?
You got something to say.
That's a fact.
Savvy president.
Savvy. Oh, you don't bring that back up. Okay.
So,
listen, man.
Are you kind of like impacted by what they steal? Because I kind of am. Like that kind of factors into how I feel about it.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. If it's food, okay, cool.
Yeah, like I don't think anybody's batting. Publix don't have a problem with losing meat right now. Last time I checked. All right. Now, if
unless it's crab legs, right?
Lobster, maybe.
Jameis Winston crab legs.
Way back. But if I look at like you guys seen the videos of like the kids hitting the Apple store, where they're stealing all the tablets and
lock them up,
cell phones, or you seen like the kids hitting Best Buy. I'm like, and that's kind of where I have the issue.
Yeah.
Like, hey man, you like in no way, shape, or form are you hitting this Apple store for survival.
No,
you know what I mean?
3 phones is grand larceny. One phone is already grand theft.
Yeah.
So in that aspect, I'm kind of like,
that's actually true.
Yeah, because that's the thing. No, but that's the thing, and that's where it goes back to the organized crime. Like this is like you hitting all these things, and which they're silly, by the way. If you are a person that owns an Apple product, you're not doing nothing with this.
No. Well, that's why it's organized crime, because those phones don't get used in America. Those phones, they're ripping them out. They don't care because those are getting shipped somewhere else.
Yeah.
South America,
wherever.
Asia,
No,
probably,
it's over because what it is to do what they need to do to unlock those phones or laptops. It takes a lot.
I know
it takes a lot.
Right.
Like you got to be, you know what I mean.
Process,
so
right.
All right. So I just brought up Trump, and in regards to a topic we talked about last episode, the IVF situation. Trump had his comments in regards to that. He's obviously in support of it. I hate to be in a situation where I kind of agree with something Trump agrees with, but it is what it is. Did any of you guys actually see his full-throated defense of the Alabama IVF decision?
That's just him that's him playing the algorithm.
I love that you said that. I know you saw I named that episode the algorithm games. I love that you said that. Yeah.
Right, like that's just him playing the algorithm. While they're going left, I'm gonna go right
for sure,
and then I'm gonna keep my name in the stream through something else, right? I'm currently, my name is, yes, I'm dominating Nikki Haley, right? But that's not enough. That's not enough. I still have all of these pending allegations, right? Like I have all these, right? I'm flying between this state and this state, going to court. I need something else. I need something else to combat all the noise.
Right.
And what could I do right now? Oh, you guys did that. I know you guys are one of my top states, but I got to give you a little pow pow, right? I got to do something to allow myself to propel myself to, you know what I mean? Right. So I just think it's the algorithm game. I think he's just trying to get some more, another narrative under his belt.
Right. And I don't disagree with that at all. Now, once you actually bring up Nikki Haley, that brings me right on to our next topic.
And I think he did it because of her.
What she
said.
Right. A lot of Republicans are trying to toe that fence because they know a lot of these voters are, if you say anything about the women's bodies, essentially, it's kind of like one of those things where your political advisors are telling you, nope, stay away, please don't do it. Yeah. So it's showing you that Trump don't got nobody he's listening to. Mm-hmm.
No, well,
that's what it's showing me. You don't got nobody, because all the Republicans right now are scared to touch it.
No. I think he has the people that are thinking outside the box of like going back to what we said. He hired that team of like the people that, right? Like, all right, I'm gonna get you here. So this is what you need to do. Like he said, he bought all those algorithms. He hired all those right people. So that's what he's doing right now. So they're like, yo, everybody's going to that side. You need to be the lone person standing over here.
You gotta zag.
Right. I know they're not touching it, but trust me, you need to. They're all scared. Touch it a little bit.
Hey, yo.
You know what I'm saying? They're like, just grab them by it. Just grab them by it a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Just shake it.
Hey, you know what I'm saying? So, and he's like, all right, I'll step out there, and then. Because if you know what it was kind of really timid. Well, I think I think Alabama needs to rethink. Like it was super timid.
Well, here's the only reason.
And then when he saw the traction, boom.
The only reason I kind of disagree with that, and I love where you're going, but the only reason I kind of disagree with that is because he's really kind of always been on that side as far as the reproduction situation goes. I don't know. We'll see. Mm-hmm. How if he sticks to it or how this all turns out as far as Alabama, if this decision gets overturned. Like we told y'all, we'll definitely keep up with this. But moving on to Nikki Haley. What is she doing right now, bruh? NoName. What's going on with her, bro?
So I think this is strategy. Okay. Right? Because prior to me coming here, it was breaking news of like his Donald Trump's team is trying to delay some of the court proceedings because I think it's not looking good where it'll inhibit him from running. So she's staying in the game. So because if he has to drop out or he's disqualified, she's next up automatically. She automatically inherits everything.
Right. Yeah.
So if she bows out and then something happens to him, it's now it's a floodgate of everybody rushing back.
Right.
Because they're like, no. We all got to do this all over again. We all got to count these votes. We all got to do all of this. By her staying in, she's just doing the long game. She's like, if he gets out, I'm automatically slid in because I'm second running.
Yeah. Her versus Biden.
Right? And
no, I don't know who will win that shit.
Her versus Biden. I think Biden would win.
I feel like I would still hang on to hope for a dark horse candidate. Yeah. Like somebody come out.
Michelle Obama.
But yeah, I think that's what it is because if he wins, all right, cool. She was gonna spend the money anyway.
Right.
Like she already got the money.
Her donors. Yeah.
Yeah, her donors. Like that money. The money's not what it is. They're like stay in because if he can't,
that's the strategy.
You have everything in the game.
You automatically, huh?
She got everything in the game.
She has everything. She has everything in the game because what it's going to default to is she's second place.
Yeah,
right.
So as soon as the first person is out, it has to default to her because there's nobody else.
Yeah. So
if she drops out and then something happens to him, they're going to replay the whole field again.
Yeah. So she really has nothing to lose.
She has nothing to lose by staying in. That's like it's a smart play. She's burning money. But it's not real money. Like it's not really like she's just going around doing all the interviews and everything. Right. She's not really burning money. Yeah. The only money she's really burning is just keeping her little base, like, you know, her team together. That's what she's really spending. And she has so much donor money anyway, so it doesn't matter. So this is just a smart play on her. Like, I'm gonna just keep going. If something does happen, I bet I'm in.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. I will say this, bro.
Because I just finished Billions. And
like the whole thing.
Yeah, the whole thing.
Okay, go ahead. You can spoil it. I'm probably not gonna watch it.
Yeah. So the last, so the last season. So the last season on Billions, the ex-billionaire that got axed out. He was running for president.
The one who the bald guy.
The bald guy. He was running for president, and he was going against a governor of I think New York, some governor, right? And she joined his ticket, but she took him down. She joined his ticket to then help take him down. So as soon as he got taken down,
sabotage.
She automatically took his spot.
Interesting. Okay.
So it's the same type of scenario. Same type of scenario.
I see. Well, we'll see if life imitates art in this case. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So in regards to this country, America, I think you guys, I would say agree, I hope, that we're in a pretty precarious situation right now. A lot of people are looking at it like, damn, we don't know where the country is going to go, up or down, like what's going to happen. And honestly, there's a lot of people out there that they trying to put $5 gas in their car. But we have been seeing now, I think more than ever, percentage of people that are literally leaving. You know, not just talking about going to another country like a few years ago when people were talking about Trump. Oh, if Trump wins, I'm moving to Canada. I'm out to Venezuela. Whatever the case is, we saw that a lot. But now we're actually seeing people taking that step, buying those tickets, right? Expats all over the place. You know what I mean? First of all, is it attainable for y'all? Is it a situation where y'all can see yourselves leaving? Yeah, if something crazy happens, like Trump wins or something like that.
Oh, if Trump wins,
I'm cool if Trump wins. I ain't going nowhere.
It would take something more extreme for me to leave.
Extreme, like people coming after guns or something like that.
Yeah, man, like if
Civil War,
like if it was leave the world behind type of situation.
You out?
Bro, boy, I'm dipping, boy.
Nah, I'm here. I got enough guns.
I told you, man,
draft.
You ain't joining the military.
They
so if the draft happens, you're out.
The draft comes up, man.
You're a draft dodger.
Okay. Chris, I'm gonna be a Jamaican.
You don't got no pride in your country, bro?
Jamaica,
you in Jamaica? You got dual citizenship, right?
Yeah, I got
coming straight to y'all.
That's funny.
You
stuck. You ain't going nowhere. You stuck. I'm going with Chris. I'm in the suitcase.
I'm gonna just commit a crime and let them deport me.
That's funny. That's funny. That boy said he's gonna get deported on purpose.
Yeah, I'm just like, hey, and they'll be like, well, you know, I'll be like, no, just deport me. No, I'm like, no, don't even.
I'll go back.
Don't even waste your time.
Marcus Garvey,
yeah. Don't even waste your time. No. Don't pass go. Don't collect $200. Just send me right back. Just send me right back.
They're gonna detain you for a few years,
bro. Listen,
that's hilarious.
Man, listen. I don't know, when I see people leaving America to go to different countries for a quote unquote better life, I get a little confused.
Okay.
Know?
How's it?
And the reason why I get confused is because I know America has its problems and stuff, but bro, I left my country to come to America for a better life, you know? So when I see you leaving America for a better life, I'm like, okay, what is a better life? You know, because I can tell you from experience, bro, that like some of the stuff that you go through in these, remember, like what America has, I think people don't recognize this, but what America has, a lot of countries don't have it. You know what I'm trying to say? Like when you leave America, if you've never washed your clothes with your hands, get ready.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say? Like you're gonna be washing with your hands. Like these are things that people don't really think about.
Right.
You know, like it's a different way of living, man. And the world, and America is the world for a lot of people, unfortunately, and they don't recognize that it's a big difference. So what's easier to you, quote unquote? Nah, it's not that easy. And the countries that you're going to, if you told those people you want to come to America, hell yeah, I'm coming. You know what I'm saying? So
I think they're strategically picking specific countries, right? So I saw this a couple of this, you know, different places. They're picking places like the Philippines, Guatemala. Yeah. They're not Costa Rica. They're not picking the places with strife. Right. They're picking the places where, hey, this is a paradise. I'm coming here with my money that I can then open a small little business, and my money is now gonna be super long.
Yeah, they're picking where the Germans went.
Right, like they're going to those places, and I think the only thing they're checking, I think, 2 boxes: how far my money can go, and medic and healthcare. That's all, because everything else can come. Because as an American citizen, I can pack a container and ship my washing machine to my new house wherever I'm living, because now I have the capital to put in the electrical infrastructure to run my washing machine, right? And I can start to. So the only thing they're really thinking about is healthcare and how far they can stretch their dollar. So I think they're being very strategic on where they're going. They're not going to Jamaica. They're not going to Brazil. They're not going to Venezuela, right? They're not going to Venezuela. Right? Like, they're not going to the places with strife, right? They're not going to Mexico. Don't let them lie to you. They're not going to Mexico. They keep on saying they're going to the Riviera. That bullshit. They're not going to Mexico. So they're going to these different places. Mexico is nice, but I think they're being very strategic. They're going to certain places like the New Zealands, like those kind of countries where they take on a different perspective of life of, hey, we don't really need all of this, and it kind of that more of a minimalist type of thing, right?
Monk living type of thing,
right? Yeah, that's the kind of thing that they're, like that. They're not.
Sounds like no gun violence.
Yeah, very true. They're going to those places and they're being very strategic about it, and if a part of the story too is, I cashed out my 401k to go. I left with $250,000. Right? $250,000 ain't doing nothing here in the United States. Right.
But it can definitely do something.
It can do something over there. It can buy them a house, start a business, and they're good. Right. They can open a nice little business on the beach, renting inner tubes to whoever, right? Get a whole bunch of locals to work for them, pay them a good wage, and then they're straight. Right. So a lot of that, they're being very strategic of where they're going, but they are leaving. Right. They are leaving in droves. And I think, you know what, another thing,
what's up?
I have one last thing too.
Go ahead,
Is it's a privilege that we are not afforded.
That's what you bring me right to the next
right
topic.
It's a privilege because we are not afforded, because the Philippines, those Costa Rica, those places, as a black person going there, it's a little bit different. For them coming in, all of the locals is like, the Messiah has come in. Like they're looking at it because they're seeing the dollar signs, they're seeing the money.
And when you were talking about checking boxes, I was going to interject. I didn't want to interrupt, but I was like, white.
Yeah, exactly. So they're not right. Like black people ain't leaving. Like I saw somebody on my algorithm the other day. She was like, she was black, talking about, oh, I went to Italy and I did this, and I was just like, I noticed the white man that you have is behind the camera. Right?
The old man.
Like, right.
In his wallet.
Like, right. Like, and, you see a whole bunch of like, I'm moving back to Ghana. Right.
No,
like,
stop.
nah, but like they tell me like, oh, hey.
They said there's been an increase in that though.
There has been an increase, but they ain't telling you that they're coming back though.
Yeah. That's what I've been
That's what they tell. They're very loud when they leave.
So
they're very quiet.
So they're going over there for a little bit.
Yeah.
It's
not what it is.
The issue is, and they don't say when I've seen a lot of these Americans that have gone, like, repatriated, went to Africa. When they're making their little sad videos talking about, oh, I had a bad day here, I don't know what's up in Ghana. What they're not telling you is they're bringing their American ideologies to these places, and these locals over there ain't with all that.
Nope.
So so you try to bring your feminism over there. Try to bring your American privilege over there, because there is such a thing as American privilege. These people ain't rocking with that.
No, they're not.
So you're going to be the person in the town or province or whatever it's called that people ain't rocking with. Yeah. And you're going to feel isolated. And good luck. You're in a country where nobody knows you. You're in a continent where nobody knows you. Good luck. So yeah, a lot of them are starting to come back. That's what they ain't going to tell you on their video. They're just going to say, oh, they're me over here.
And they're very quiet.
Very loud when they leave.
That's a good point you made. That's a very good point.
That's what's happening, bro.
Very good.
But nobody's gonna say that.
Yeah, nobody's saying that. That's true, man. Because it's America, bro. America, bro, I don't want to say it has no morals, but it has no morals. You know what I'm trying to say?
You're right.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So when you go to these places, especially Africa, bro, when you go to those places, man, and the people, like the whole mindset of the people, it's a God place, bro. You know, it's spirituality. You know, so when you come there and you're like, oh yeah, you don't want to do this. No. It doesn't work here. You know what I'm saying? So you're gonna realize really quick that, oh shit, I can't do what I used to do up in the States. You know, so it's no longer gonna be home for you, man.
Right.
And then people, no, they're not gonna conform to you because you're in their country. You know, so that's a good point you made, man.
Right. All right, so NoName had to step out. NoName had to step out, but we're gonna continue the conversation. We're gonna continue the conversation, and he'll catch up next week or next episode. Maybe he'll have notes or something like that. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. But where I wanted to go with that, right off of Americans leaving and going to other countries, et cetera, all that stuff, is this whole situation with the Carbon Nation. Have y'all seen that whole situation with the guy? He's on trial. I think he just got life for having this sex cult and allegedly raping one of the members that wanted to leave. His name is Nature Boy, they're calling him, or Three God or something like that. So yeah, he started this cult, what became known as a cult, under the premise of, and again, it's called Carbon Nation. And it was under the premise of, hey, the planet's being destroyed and we got to leave society and we got to do our part to bring. A lot of people follow him. Y'all know people are feeble-minded. We talked about brainwashing earlier.
Yeah.
It works. Okay. Right. And this guy was charismatic enough. This Nature Boy guy was charismatic enough.
What is he, Ric Flair?
His name is Nature Boy.
That is wow.
So the families for some of these, it reminded me of Jim Jones. It really did.
Seriously?
Yeah, it really did. Because, people were trying to leave and but thankfully he didn't murder anybody or make anybody drink Kool-Aid or anything like that. But that whole situation, if you haven't seen it, is really crazy. This guy is accused of running what they're calling a sex cult. I think if you just raped one person, I don't think it qualifies as a sex cult. I think over time you can start something and it have some kind of premise based on whatever delusion you have or whatever ideal you have. But when you have men and women and you're the boss or the head guy and the women, sex is gonna come eventually. Like, man,
right?
There's really no avoiding that. So I guess that's what we've seen here. And fortunately, if everything is as stated, they got this dude out of the forest or out of the. I think he was in Costa Rica at one point, Honduras at another point, and Georgia at wow.
So he's all over the place.
Literally all over the place, man. But if we're gonna talk about somebody getting arrested or locked up for rape or whatever the case is, I don't think we can finish this episode without talking about Diddy's new allegations.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, here we go. Yeah, I know. Here we go. What'd you think when you heard it?
Diddy's a freaky boy, man.
Freaky boy.
I wish I could say I was surprised, but I'm not really surprised. I mean,
did you see Floyd Mayweather supporting him?
Yeah,
no, I did not.
You talking about the time? Are you talking about that interview when they asked him about
the Pivot podcast? Yeah. On the Pivot podcast, Floyd Mayweather was like, "Man, you know what? If my daughter went through that, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't say anything. My daughter can go through." But if you know anything about Floyd Mayweather, right? That's a choice that she made. If you know anything about Floyd's career, he spent some jail time for domestic violence and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so, yeah. He, hey. I didn't agree with what he was saying. You touch my daughter's death, I'm gonna be the one in jail.
It's funny because even the other guy was like, that's not a choice.
Ryan,
he's like, that's not a choice. If a woman gets sexually assaulted, she didn't choose to get sexually assaulted,
right?
Come on,
right?
I think Floyd just didn't want to offend anybody. I think he was trying to be politically correct. I think that's what he was.
You think so? You feel like he wanted to ruin his relationships as far as
exactly.
Did he?
Exactly.
Did he's a friend of his?
Yeah. So he didn't want to piss anybody off. So he's like, that's a grown man's business. I'm not going to get in a grown man's business. No, you don't have to get in his business, but you can have a grown man's opinion. No?
Right.
You, and I feel like it speaks to your character as well. That when you're afraid to offend people, man, just what I'm saying, like you have to.
It speaks to being soft to me.
Yeah, even you're a strong guy physically, but.
He's a little guy.
He's a little guy.
He fights little people. He fights little people, though. There's a reason why he has big security guards. He fights little people. You get your hands on Floyd, it's a wrap. He done.
So you going 10 rounds with Floyd?
I'm not scared to go 10 rounds with anybody. But
Tyson.
Floyd's too little. I'm not scared of Tyson. Man, I'll put hands on Mike Tyson right now.
I would never.
I can really fight. I'll put hands on Mike Tyson right now. He's too old.
It's
He's
very.
too old.
I didn't see them hands move recently.
No, those hands are great.
I saw them too.
No,
I saw
listen.
I saw them too.
Whitney is capping.
Listen.
Right
I'm not
now.
capping.
Nah,
I'm not capping. I ain't say I'm gonna beat him up.
I ain't say you was.
Oh, exactly. I ain't say that. I'm not scared to fight. I'm not scared to fight, is what I'm saying. But am I gonna beat him up? No, he's a trained freaking boxer for most of his life. No,
I'm here to tell you.
I'm gonna get hurt.
You throw the money on the table. You could put all 10 bands, 20 bands, 100 bands on the table. Not fighting Tyson.
Really?
Not fighting Tyson.
What if he try
bro.
your mama or something like that? What if he
see.
What if he smack you in the face and put and spit on you?
So
you a man. You gonna fight?
And I would tell you, I would have to at that point. Like the Chris Rock thing couldn't happen to me, and I not fight somebody back.
I'm gonna get a few licks off
I'm
Tyson.
not trying to lose on national television. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Nobody's expecting you to beat Mike Tyson.
You
bro.
won't willingly seek him out.
You know what I mean?
You know what I'm saying?
I ain't scared of Mike. Nah, man. Hey.
I ain't scared of nobody. I ain't scared of nobody.
I mean, if you come to me, I'm gonna defend myself. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't seeking it out.
It's a short list of dudes I wouldn't want to fight, and he's on that list.
Oh boy,
really?
Yes.
Old Mike Tyson? No,
Mike Tyson today, I wouldn't want.
Mike gonna get hands put on him.
I'll
get beat up, but they're gonna know me as the guy who put hands on Mike.
Not willingly.
You're going down as the man that.
I'm gonna go down. And you know what I mean?
Hey,
let's make sure the ref is there to stop it if it gets too bad.
That's the guy that tried to fight Tyson.
If it gets too bad, the ref should be there, please. It has to be a ref there. Right?
Like, boy,
not a street fight.
He's like, he whooped me, but I got a couple in myself.
I can walk away in the street fight.
Gonna be in your corner,
I can run away, walk away, whatever.
All I need you to do is just let me know. I got the towel ready.
Boy.
I take that back.
White towel
in a street fight, Mike's getting shot. We just talked about gun control. He getting Mike is getting Mike. Yeah, you're gonna be saying rest in peace to Mike. It's so hard. Hey. You play with me if you want. In the street, it better be in a ring. If it's in the streets, it's over for you, bro.
He's like, boy,
it's over for you in the streets.
I ain't gonna try to find out what happened.
Better be a referee. I ain't fighting. Bro. God damn, you gonna get clapped up.
Jesus Christ, man.
So one thing I say about the Mayweather thing.
Yeah. What's up?
I don't think anybody's ever gotten in trouble for just quote unquote shutting the fuck up. You know what I mean? Sometimes you kind of save yourself if you just instead of just trying to be like PC with the comment or not offend anybody.
Right.
Sometimes it's just okay to be like, hey man, I don't have enough information on that, so I'm gonna just shut the fuck up because I don't know.
Yeah,
right.
That's not a bad position.
It's not a bad position. You don't lose anything by being like, I don't know nothing about the Diddy situation. That's my dog, but I don't know. I ain't gonna comment on it because I don't know.
That is also true.
He must have been to some of those parties.
I would imagine. He's
must have been to some. It's either that or you made money with Diddy.
Bro, you know when Diddy comes to party, you
gotta say no. You got to say no. And it even crossed over to the boxing realm because Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia has been marketing like this shirt where Devin Haney's in the pool with Diddy, and Diddy has this weird, sinister look on his face. I'm like, oh, he was on some freaky stuff. That's
genius, though.
Good guy.
I gotta commend him.
Oh, they're marketing the hell out of this fight. They are marketing the hell out of this fight. I will definitely say that. Now, moving on, another fight that's been really public right now, and it kind of came out of nowhere because I thought it was already resolved since last year or something like that, is Yeezy and Adidas, bruh.
Oh, they're still going at it?
Bruh, Adidas is suing him whilst trying to sell his shoes with his name on it.
Really?
They're suing him for $250 million, according to Kanye West.
I didn't know they were trying to sue him. I heard they were trying to resume selling his sneakers.
According to Ye, they're already selling his shoes. By the way,
that's crazy.
Yeah, I got the notification. Yeah, they're already selling one. There's one gray looking. It's kind of trash. But Kanye's saying it's not authorized because it ain't an authorized colorway that he came up with, and also he also said in that I think it was Twitter or whatever he went live stream on. He said that they are also suing him for $250 million.
Wow!
And he just sat with the president of Adidas like last week.
I'm somewhat surprised, but I mean, like, what benefit? Like, how does Adidas benefit from this? Like,
well, if they sue him, they get a big amount of money, and they don't have to give him any percentage of what they're selling off of these leftover.
But my question is, like, what are they suing him for? Like,
they lost a lot of money. And if you remember,
it's a decision they made. They chose to drop him. Like,
he became toxic.
Yeah,
and all these,
I don't doubt that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's the risk that they took.
They need to sue him.
Yeah.
Their attorneys, their board, their people feel like they have a case here. They're trying to get as much money as they can back.
Sounds like
get it back in blood because they lost a lot of money.
It sounds like we're trying to recoup whatever we lost in this initial investment that we chose to. Look, man, they could have went the route of.
It was so bad for Adidas that their own board was trying to sue the company. Like the investors, was suing the. That's how bad it got. So they lost a lot of money, and they're doing terrible without Kanye West. So they're trying to get what they can back because they know they don't got him no more. He met with the Adidas president wearing black Air Force Ones. You know what time he on?
Yeah, he is not.
You know what time he on, bro?
He is not here to make.
You know what kind of time he was on, bro?
So I don't have no sympathy for Adidas, especially knowing like the foundation of how that company started.
Right.
In the Nazi background,
right?
That's affiliated with it. Like, I don't have no sympathy for him. Yeah, he's still crazy, but I enjoy the music.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah,
I think he's hella misunderstood, and he don't say the right thing at the right time. Which I have a spot in my heart for people like that. I
don't disagree with none of that.
And honestly, looking
at
misinformed
too, though.
Yeah, but who really isn't in this world? Who isn't?
I think he's just foolish enough to say it in front of a camera sometimes. That's all.
Okay. He cut his ears off. Reference to a great artist back in the day, Picasso.
So
no, does that make Picasso or Da Vinci?
I thought it was Da Vinci.
Was it Da Vinci? Da Vinci cut his ear off, right? I think it was Da Vinci. No, it might have been Picasso. Was it Cristiano? Okay.
He's trying to figure out which one too, because I was like, Da Vinci.
It's Van Gogh? Oh, okay, yeah.
All right, so
it's Van Gogh.
It was Vincent Van Gogh.
It was Vincent Van Gogh that cut his ears off. So a lot of this genius may appear hella crazy. And
I feel like in order to be a genius, you gotta kind of be crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know if I believe the have to be crazy part, but I see. I feel you. I see what y'all say.
I think a lot of geniuses are though.
I think we've had a lot of geniuses
even
that
if they're not crazy, I feel like people are gonna look at them.
You don't think they were just really smart?
I think if you pull up with a new idea that people haven't heard, you're gonna
crazy.
You're
gonna be crazy.
Does that mean you're cutting your ear off crazy? Nah, I don't necessarily think so.
But every idea sounds crazy in the beginning until
every new idea. Yeah.
Until because I'm quite sure when we heard about when you talk about if in 1800s if you spoke about a phone that you can touch a screen and you can go to the internet, they're like,
no, you'd be burned at the stake.
Like, yeah,
if you tried to explain to them what the internet was, I don't think we'd make.
You would be burned at the stake.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just
1800. You'll be burned at the stake.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So everything is crazy until it's proven.
I heard that was more of a white thing, right? That was the white people.
It's always so.
Yeah.
It's always.
Yeah, I don't feel like the brothers and sisters were trying to burn you at the stake.
We don't.
No, that wasn't a.
Okay. Historically speaking, I have seen no examples of that pre-European interference, indoctrination, whatever you want to call it. I've seen any kind of.
Let me ask you this: what about
any kind of horrific things that have happened ever?
What about hanging like the nooses, like hanging people from trees?
We know where that come from.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
all right, so
we know where that come from.
All right.
I've seen no examples. I've seen
nowhere else.
Yeah, that's there. That's.
Okay.
And everybody out there knows that. We know the horrible things that have come from transatlantic slave trade and Jim Crow. We know all these horrible things, and it's evident as in them trying to hide history. They know it too. It is what it is. You know what I mean? We know it, and we're moving past it in a certain way to where we won't ever allow these things to happen again. And it is what it is. But I had a conversation earlier this week, and as I like to talk about history, I had this older gentleman, and this is kind of off topic, but I'm gonna make it quick or brief. I see, especially with quote unquote black people of a certain age group, they say certain things about black people, and it's like, damn, they really was brainwashing y'all like crazy in the 60s and 70s. He's like, oh, we do it to ourselves, and black people can't get it right, or we just can't. Just like real demonstrative and real like self-deprecating as far as quote unquote black people go. Yeah. I mean, and these are the older folk. Like it's like damn, you really don't have any. You don't know any kind of history. You don't know about all these things they were doing to control. And he's like, oh, how about in Rwanda? Did you research that at all, sir? You just saw the movie. If you just watched the movie, I speak pretty straightforward. I'm like, did you? I had to literally look him in the eye, and I'm like, bro, like, did you research this or just watch the movie? If you just watch the movie, yeah, you're gonna think these Africans out here just killing each other and wilding. Show me an example of that happening before Europe invades.
Yeah.
Show me an example.
Yeah.
Because you can bet your bottom dollar if there were examples in that, as much as they've been demonizing people with our skin tone, it would have been out, dog.
Yeah.
It would have been like, you know what I mean? Yeah. You seen how they try to do us with the homie situation with the warrior queen. What that show called? The Woman King. And trying to say, oh yeah, look, they're enslaving each other. Yeah, but y'all ain't tell the whole story. It was Europeans going over there. Either you do this or we take you.
Yeah.
What? Like, yeah, they, for a lack of knowledge, our people are destroyed, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And it is what it is. Mm-hmm. But this can be a whole long.
That's scripture right there too.
Yeah, bro. Come on, man. Yeah. So let's. I'm gonna move ahead, man. We got thrown off the Kanye West topic a bit, but I wanted to get us to vultures, bro. Like, what the heck? Like, this album hits number 1, and then they find a reason to pull it off. It hits number 1 again, and then they say, "Oh, he's doing it." It hits number 1 again, and now Donna Summer's family is suing, bro. Like, what the? And it's a great album, by the way. I'm gonna just say that first of all. I think it's top 5 Kanye albums right now.
So,
what's up?
I feel like that might be a little bit of a reach. But
top 5 Kanye albums?
Yeah.
You want to name them right now, on top of your head? 5 better than this one? My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy.
Yeah, that's definitely up there.
Graduation.
First 3 albums.
Okay.
Out the gate.
Okay, so
Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy.
That's 4. We're at 4.
I throw Life of Pablo in there.
Life of Pablo is good.
Yeah, Life of Pablo.
You've heard this whole thing already, right?
Yeah. So, but wait. Before we even to vultures, I would just say I think it's a little too soon. Got to let it age more before I throw it up there in the top 5 of his discography.
That's the problem. But a lot of Kanye's albums, like if you listen to the first one, College Dropout, a lot of it didn't age well. It's like 6 songs that are good on there now. If you heard it recently,
yeah, I have. I still like
the whole thing.
Yeah, I still like.
It didn't age that great.
I think it did.
It's a few. It's like 6 songs that are still good on there. Just listen to it.
That's half the album though.
Hey,
so
y'all out there, listen to it.
All right, so I don't know what version of Vultures y'all got because obviously
there's many different versions.
Y'all are fucking Apple users, so y'all got it.
Oh yeah, you still got
everybody in the room.
Android.
24 hours before I got it, so I had to go to YouTube to get the YouTube version, right? So I went to YouTube, got the YouTube version.
See, that's why you got the wrong version.
It was like, oh, this is, but the YouTube version, I was like, oh, this is flames. I love this, right?
Okay.
Then I went got the official Spotify version of it that was released and was like, okay, this is good, but it's not as good as that YouTube one. But the YouTube one obviously was with all the samples that he wasn't able to clear.
Okay.
So, I mean,
oh, so you heard the Backstreet song? You heard the Nicki Minaj song?
Yeah, I heard everything.
I ain't hear none of those.
I heard
some of the Backstreet.
I heard all of it. So I was like, oh man, this didn't make the album.
Right.
So
I think one of the worst songs, and I still like it, is the "You Ain't Got No." That one with his daughter.
I think that's talking.
Yeah. You just talking. I think that's the worst song, but I like that too. I mean, especially when the beat switches.
You can see what he was trying to do. Yeah.
And I like that he put his daughter on there.
He's not
if this wins a Grammy, that's dope. My daughter won a Grammy now.
He's not the first rapper to put his child on.
I liked it. She's my favorite. Like she's my favorite, like famous kid now. Like her.
Oh, where?
Yeah. I like her, man. I like her.
Which one was it? Was it North?
North, the first one. Yeah, North. I think
that girl is like her.
I like her.
Boy.
I like her, and she be exposing her mom and stuff. I like that's hilarious to me, man. Shout out to Northwest, man. Shout out to Ye, man. Shout out to Ye, man.
Yeah, that's his daughter for sure, man.
Yeah, for sure,
absolutely,
for sure, man. But
I don't know what's gonna happen with Vultures, man. I hate the fact that they keep like pulling it, taking it down, pulling it.
Oh, them people ain't forget. They said never forget, right? That's their slogan, never forget. Yeah. They will never forget what Kanye West did, and they're gonna try to ruin him as best as they can in many different facets. Good luck to Kanye West. I bought 3 of the shirts.
This is the thing, man. His Ye's fan base is just so like rabid. I don't think he's like Dave Chappelle to me, man. I don't think you could ever really cancel him.
Yeah,
like we're kind of saying he was right. In a lot of ways. He said it the wrong way, and
fair enough. I'm not trying to lose all our sponsorship.
You seen the bombings lately? Okay. Go ahead.
But I think that it's just he's one of those guys, man. You're not really gonna be able to.
He's a blue chip artist, man.
You can't really
big to feel.
So it's like Michael Jackson, almost in a sense. Maybe not to the peak.
Yeah,
they don't really care about us. Mike did have them songs now.
Yeah.
But you can't, regardless of whatever they do, the imprint on the culture is going to be there forever.
Yeah, it's too vast.
It's too strong.
It's too strong.
That's a fact.
Yeah,
especially in the first 3 albums.
I just feel like they didn't age that well, bro.
You don't think so?
Graduation is probably for me top 2. My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy is number 1.
Yeah,
that is the greatest Kanye album.
They already say that's the greatest hip hop constructed wise, like sonically. They claim that is the greatest.
Amazing. It's amazing.
Like hip hop album ever constructed. They say it's like the perfect hip hop album.
I didn't know they said that, but for me, it's one of my favorites of all time. Like I love that album.
Like there's been a plethora of breakdowns about it. It's kind of wild.
Right.
But I've heard it from more than one source.
Sure.
That's why I say they. Like I don't know who they is, but the people out, the critics out there,
who's they?
Like they, like the critics out there that critique this music claim that is like the blueprint for the greatest hip hop album ever to be made. Like if there is a formula to do it, it is that album.
Right. Beautiful album for sure. All right. So, and Chris, I don't know if you have a favorite Kanye album or how you see this Vultures. Graduation is number 1. Graduation is an amazing album, man. I heard him say nothing really, But yeah. Okay, so moving right along from that situation, man, and we're closing up Scrap Metal Media. And y'all out there, my Today people, let us know how y'all feel about these new like shorter episodes. We're playing with the length and seeing how it works, but I know if y'all notice, we've been kind of condensing a little bit, but y'all leave it in the comments or talk to me when you see me or whatever the case is, man. But this last topic is about somebody who got hands put on him because we talked about that a little bit. Mr. Cam Newton. Cam Newton.
I don't think
Go ahead, man.
Bro, I saw the video, because I heard about it, but I
He
never
got
saw
hands put
the
on him.
video, bro.
Just like I said with Mike Tyson, I'm gonna get some licks in. He gonna do his thing, but I'm gonna get some licks in. Cam got touched up. He dragged Buddy for miles,
but you gotta give him credit though, bro. He took on like what?
Which the guy
4 guys.
They weren't kids. They were grown men.
They were grown, but
just
they
small
like
grown men. They look like kids.
He's
6'6" though.
Yeah, I don't know if you know,
240, 250.
like bro.
Yeah, Cam is a monster.
Bro,
usually football players are big when they play and then they get small.
Nah, Cam is the only person.
He can't be 240 still. No, is he 240 still? Dang,
probably.
Okay.
I don't know why. I don't know why I think 240 is not that much, bro. I don't know why. Maybe
he looks a little smaller than me, and I know for a fact football players, their football playing weight is not what they're like. Especially when they're done, they usually get a little slimmer.
Yeah. He's probably not at his
peak. Yeah, he don't look like he looks a little skinnier to me.
But still, bro,
he's still 6'6".
He's still a unit.
He's
still a beast, man. He's a beast, man. He's a beast. He was, bro. 4 men, bro. 4 grown men.
I think it was 2 that were actively fighting, and the others were in there trying to like stop and whatever the case.
Them other 2 bailed out mad quick. They saw how it was going and said, "You know what, y'all got it."
Did y'all see the guy talking?
Yeah,
he had a quick little 15 minutes of fame. He's like, "Yo, Cam put his hands on my boy," and I wasn't letting that because Cam apparently, allegedly, according to this guy's statement, Cam grabbed his boy up. Hemmed him up a little bit. And Buddy he said he just hooked off on Cam. And from my view of that video, after that, I think Cam grabbed the dreads, grabbed the hoodie here, and just started dragging him up the stairs and all that. I'm like, like
Cam slung one buddy. They said, Buddy with the dreads got Irish. So wrestling fans, Irish Wood is like the fake
Irish Wood,
Irish whip, whip.
Whoa,
whip.
Okay,
not wood.
My bad,
Irish
I misheard.
Whip.
Okay, yikes.
They say it's like one of the fakest wrestling moves you can do.
I don't know what that is.
Where you basically take a wrestler, throw him into the rope.
Okay.
He comes back and you basically knock him down.
Oh, that's called an Irish whip?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And Cam basically did that to Buddy in the dreads, threw him into the fence, and you would think that the fence was like a wrestling rope. He was gonna come back to Cam. But
yeah. That's a molly whopping
this for sure. I mean, some history about Cam Newton, man. He that Auburn team he carried to the national championship did not produce any NFL players other than him.
Whoa.
Just speaking to his toughness, like Cam has gotten into a car accident where his truck has flipped over multiple times, and then went on to play a game on in the same week, like recovering from those injuries.
I had no idea.
I'm here to tell you, nobody was nobody should be shocked that Cam took on 4 dudes by himself.
That's a beast.
And lived to tell the story because he's just historically done that all throughout his playing career. So I don't know why those guys thought it was a good idea,
bro. Because they're thinking
they were standing on business.
Bro. That's what it is. Like,
they were standing on
4
business.
of us and just one Cam Newton, bro. We can take him down, bro.
Yeah, and he didn't go down not once.
Go down. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like
bro.
he didn't even look like he was about to fall.
Not even surprising, which is not, bro.
The hat stayed
NFL,
on.
bro?
The hat stayed on. That's how you know it wasn't tough. The hat stayed on.
So
dog.
you know they said you guys obviously seen the way Cam Newton dresses, right? Like
Okay.
his attire.
So okay.
The outlandish outfits
he
wears, right?
Yeah.
They said you should have known that you can't fight a guy that dresses that way. You know what I mean? Like if you dressing like that, you must have hands. You know what I mean?
So Andre 3000 must be Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Probably.
Okay. Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if Drake
probably
got
yeah,
hands
he's from Atlanta too. Drake not a
Big
scrap.
Boy has said something like that before.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me at all. Actually,
yeah. It's the unassuming people, bro. Seriously, even Denzel, bro. Denzel got hands. Bro.
Really? Does he?
Bro?
Common.
Really?
Yeah.
Hands,
that's surprising. That's a little surprising.
Yo, even Jimmy Fox said it, bro. In one of them, he's like, "Yo, all that shit used to Denzel be doing in Equalizer." He's like, "Nah, you know that shit for real. You know that shit for real, bro. That ain't acting. He actually knows that shit for real."
Well, like, Denzel does play Denzel, so that makes sense. I get it. I get it.
He's not even acting.
He does. He's not acting.
I do this shit for real.
But what do you want me to do? Say less. All right. So, unless you gentlemen got any more, I think that's gonna be it for Scrap Metal Media. That was really fun. Shout out to NoName. Appreciate y'all fellas. But yeah, I'm thinking we're gonna go right on to bit by bit. All right. That's all, folks. Yeah. This ain't just a prediction. This is bit by bit. The bit by bit prediction of the day is nanotechnology will be one of the biggest weapons fighting cancer. Cancer has been a scourge in our modern society, not only because big business would much rather treat it than to cure it, but also because our modern society actually causes it. From the foods we eat to the air we breathe, the explosive industrialization of this nation, we'll call that yin, unfortunately brought along its yang in the form of cancers. Dr. Hadia Nicole Green is a remarkable physicist known for her pioneering work in cancer treatment using laser-activated nanoparticles. She developed a groundbreaking technique that targets and destroys cancer cells while sparing healthy tissue. Dr. Green's work is particularly significant because it offers a potential alternative to traditional cancer treatments like chemotherapy and radiation therapy, which can cause harmful side effects. Last I heard, Dr. Hadia Nicole Green's foundation, the Aura Lee Smith Cancer Research Foundation, is still raising funds needed to start human clinical trials for her laser-activated nanotherapy, which she, by the way, calls LANT. The estimated cost to launch these trials is around $90 million, roughly. This figure is based on the need to complete human trials and obtain FDA approval. Dr. Green has already received about $1.1 million in the form of a grant from the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs to support her research. Now, I know the economy is tough right now, but everything counts. So even if y'all out there can just spread the word about this, I mean, that's free. Because this sister out here is attempting to do what has seemingly been impossible. And honestly, you never know how far your word can go. You never know who's listening, right? Hey, at the very least, more attention would make her a little harder to get rid of. Either way, shout out to her and her team. Love to see a woman excel for the right reasons. I think that's all I got for the time capsule. We out. And we are just universes crashing. Just do your best to leave a mark. Also, subscribe, comment, and leave 5 stars. This is Wendy, signing off. Dear future robots, peace.